And I'm going to talk a little bit about a very fundamental concept when we discuss escapes in jiu-jitsu in general, regardless of whether they are positional escape or submission escapes. And this is going to be a constant theme throughout this whole escape series and in the future, which is this idea of going straight from a defensive to an offensive cycle. One of the worst things that can happen in jiu-jitsu is to spend a lot of time caught in a defensive cycle. And good players will exploit what for them is offensive cycles to just tiring you up, using up all your energies, frustrate you, and eventually get you into submission. So a perfect example of this would be, for example, from the back, right? If I'm from the back and I start getting out, whatever the case might be, right? I start getting out, and now I'm out of the back, and now he immediately mounts me. And I'm like, well, yeah, that didn't go very well. Yes, I did get out of the back, but I went straight into mount. Obviously, this is an extreme example. A less extreme example, but which is very, very important, is a situation in which I am in bottom mount. I start getting into knee elbow escape, and now my partner, I start eating up the knee, and I go into half guard, and now my partner just locks the chest to chest half guard, inverts the knee, and now here I am taking and carrying my partner's weight for a prolonged period of time. Now, whenever I go to free again, he mounts me again, and now we're back in mount, okay? So what I need to do is to break a defensive cycle and be able to go straight from a situation in which I'm carrying my partner's weight and I am constantly in danger of getting submitted to a situation in which I can start putting pressure on my partner. Might that be a positional pressure in terms of either points or literally just putting weight on my partner, or a submission threat, a situation in which I go straight from a situation in which I'm defending to a situation in which I'm threatening a submission. So the perfect example for this, now we're going to look at this more in detail later, but a perfect example would be a kipping escape in which I kip, and now, turn that way, yeah. And now I'm already in a situation in which I can start attacking my partner's legs, for example. You see what happened there? A second ago, I was in bottom mount, I was getting scored on, I was carrying my partner's body weight, and a second later, I'm immediately attacking his leg. And so obviously, this generates a lot of reluctance from your partner to ever commit to positions, because every time you mount someone, you have this idea that, man, if something goes wrong, I'm immediately gonna get, my legs attacked or whatever the case might be. It generates reluctance somehow, and obviously this is something that defensively we can exploit.